Welcome back. My best friend ghosted me for years just to secretly marry my ex. Plus some more bestie wedding drama on Storytime with Charlotte.
This was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit.
For those that need a translation. All the stories in today's video are from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. You know that saying, friends come and go, but best friends are forever? Yeah, turns out that's a lie. At least in my case. I had a ride or die best friend. Let's call her Lena. Lena the Mina? I'm in a feisty mood today, guys. We met in elementary school and we were inseparable. Even when we had different friend groups in high school, at the end of the day, we were each other's person. We even escaped together. Escaped what? Literally. Lena had a really bad home life, and when we got accepted to an out-of-state college, I was the one who helped her get out. We had a whole plan. Graduate, get our first professional jobs, and move in together as boss ladies living our best lives. So what's the problem? She wasn't just my best friend. She was like my sister. I genuinely believed she was going to be in my life forever. Enter my high school relationship that just wasn't good enough. Back in high school, I dated a guy. Let's call him Matt. From junior year until second year of high school. He was my first serious boyfriend and I really liked him. Lena, however, hated him. She would constantly say I could do better, that he was not worth my time, that he was so wrong for me. But it didn't even matter because after high school graduation, we broke up. We were moving out of state for college and had no intention of coming back. It was a clean break, no drama, no heartbreak, just two people going in different directions. Then came the love of my life. Once we got to college, Lena introduced me to a guy. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan was in one of Lena's classes and she was so excited about me meeting him.
You have to meet him. He is perfect for you.
And well, she was right. Okay. I wasn't even looking for anything serious, but Ryan and I just clicked. We were actually perfect for each other. Lena and I, we built our life together, renting an apartment off campus, working part-time jobs, and enjoying college years, all while Ryan and I were growing closer. Then, during junior year of college, Ryan proposed. I said yes. And that's when Lena changed. Did she introduce you to this guy just so that she could get your ex? This bitch. At first, she seemed happy for me, but I started noticing small things. She became more distant, a little less available. At the time, I figured maybe it was because our plan was changing. We had always planned to live together after college graduation, but now I was getting married, and I knew that meant our dynamic would shift, but I never thought it would be a deal breaker for our friendship. Still, I tried so hard to keep her in my life. I wanted her involved in my wedding planning and my happiness and everything. But little by little, she kept pulling away. Friendships normally kind of drift when one person gets into a relationship. Like just a little bit, you know, like you shouldn't get into a relationship and then totally forget about all of your friendships. Not only when you need to bitch about your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Let's maintain friendships when we get into relationships, regardless of someone new coming into your life. And let's not just keep those friendships to vent. By the time college graduation rolled around, we weren't as close anymore. I moved in with my husband and she started living alone. I still made an effort to hang out with her, but she started making excuses. She was always busy and swamped with work. In an effort to try to hold on to our friendship, I wanted to plan a girls' night just like old times. Her response?
I'll have to check my calendar.
That was it. That was the moment I realized I was done chasing her. She never reached out again. No birthday messages, no holiday texts, nothing. And when I had my daughter, the baby I had planned to name after her since we were teenagers, she wasn't there. I didn't even tell her. My goodness. Well, we know by the title what happened. Do we really feel so guilty about this? I mean, I would feel guilty about doing something shady like this too, because the whole time they were OP and this guy, her like high school boyfriend, were together, Lena was telling her that he wasn't good enough for her. And like, you know, she hated him and all this stuff. And it was like, okay, so now what? Was that all just like a very long ploy to get the guy you liked? It can't be that, can it? Oh, Lord. I valued our friendship so much. For the longest time, she was the most important person in my life outside of my family. She was the person I shared everything with, the one who knew me better than anyone. And just like that, she was gone. Then I found out the truth. One day, on a whim, I decided to snoop on her social media. I hadn't checked it in years, and that's when I saw it. She got married. Okay, good for her, right? Then I saw who she married. Matt. My high school ex. At first I thought, there's no way. Maybe they reconnected after college. Maybe it's not that deep. Oh, but it was that deep. The more I scrolled, the more I realized that Lena had been dating Matt behind my back for years, starting around the time I met Ryan. Okay, so she introduced you to Ryan because she wanted to date Matt. I mean, it didn't necessarily work out that badly because you did meet your husband through her, but it kind of taints that whole experience, doesn't it? Suddenly, everything makes sense. She didn't just grow distant, she cut me off because she was hiding him from me. And here's the thing, I wouldn't have even cared. But that's the thing, right? People who like stonewall and create that kind of distance, I genuinely believe that they know up. They know for sure. Oh, they've been knowing. And guess what? It's much easier for them to cut you off than it is to face a possible confrontation in which they are the bad guy. She knows she's the bad guy. She probably would be mad if it were her in this situation. You know, if she had just talked to you, maybe it all would have been fine. I feel like there's something deeper there where she knows that she liked him from the beginning and she was trying to get you not to date him. Why the guilt otherwise? Why the pretending to hate? If you hated him so much, then wouldn't he be bad for you too? Wouldn't he be not good enough for you too? I'm not the kind of person who bans friends from dating my exes. If it didn't work out with me, maybe it will work out with someone else. Sure, it's a little weird considering I kissed the guy once upon a time, but honestly, who cares? I was so in love with my husband, I never thought twice about Matt. I mean, he was a guy that you met in high school. This girl clearly valued a guy far more than she valued your friendship. That's what's up about this. Instead of just telling me, instead of being upfront, she let our entire friendship die over a guy she pretended to hate. The irony, she spent years telling me that Matt wasn't good enough for me, and yet she ended up for him. Oh, the irony is not lost, babes. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm mad anymore. At this point, I just laugh because if she just had told me, I wouldn't have cared, but instead she burned our entire relationship to the ground over a guy she swore was trash. Good luck, Lena. Good luck waking up to him every day, knowing deep down if you had just told the truth, I would have been happy for you. Honestly, babe, I don't think she loses much sleep over it. I hate to say it, but with women like this, male-centric women, they will put you in situations and dangerous situations and situations in which they choose the male validation or the relationship over you. Time and time again. That is so crappy that that happened to you. I am so sorry, especially because you've known her for so long and you considered her a sister. You hold someone in such high regard and you would do anything for that person, but then you realize that it's not equal. They don't love you as much as you love them. It's sad. I bet she was with him while you two were together. Ooh, that's a hot take. She set you up with Ryan to distract you. The fact she hated him was the giveaway. There's a fine line between hate and love. I don't even know if she ever really hated him, honestly. I think that she pretended to hate him because secretly the whole time she liked him. And maybe you valued her opinion so much that was part of the reason that you guys broke up. You just didn't really feel like it was worth it. It's like, how am I honestly going to be in a relationship with someone that my best friend absolutely cannot stand? Like, it worked out. Obviously, you are with, someone who was perfect for you, and it worked out great for you. It just really sucks. All right, OP responds, and she really did act like she hated him. She would refer to him as ugly and dumb and talk bad about him every chance she got. Me and him had a nice, easygoing relationship, and now that I think about it, when we broke up, it was a very smooth breakup because he confessed there was someone else he was interested in. It could have very easily been her, but who knows? My goodness. that also explains the guilt too. If she secretly liked him the whole time and told you all this stupid stuff that wasn't true just because she secretly liked him and wanted him for herself, that would make me feel a little guilty if it were me. I had a roommate in undergrad do the same thing to me, basically. But the way I see it, the garbage just took itself out. Don't waste any more energy on her. Enjoy your life with your husband. There's definitely something to be said for this. I know it's kind of like, it seems like this betrayal because it's like, holy shit, my whole life was a lie. Like this friendship was a lie. And you're probably second guessing all of the times, you know, you're going back and you're like log of memories and you're like, oh, that was kind of jealousy coded, not gonna lie. But I think, and this is something that's easier to talk about than it is in practice, I think giving energy to people who do not serve us, and I don't mean like bow down and serve, I mean, you know, they make your life hard in some way, or they don't make you happy, or they drain your energy. That's what I mean by serve, okay? I'm not like, I mean kind of like bow down, but I'm kidding. Let's learn to not give any energy to those who are careless with our feelings and our heart. OP responds, she really encouraged a breakup because for one, she hated him, and two, we were moving to a neighboring state for college, so clearly the long distance would not work out. I mean, it might have. I mean, clearly it worked out for her. I'm obviously my own person and didn't just break up with him because she pushed for it. He and I were just not in love anymore. Okay, well, that's good to know. So I don't believe him still liking me was even a factor for her literally throwing our friendship away. All right, one last response from OP. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the comments. It really did hurt. Yes, I'm sorry that this happened. It sucks. Part of me wants to reach out for closure, but I don't know if it would even be worth it. Girl, you are not going to get closure. You're going to get a whole lot of gaslighting. What's she gonna do? Admit to the fact that she lied to you about hating him so that you guys would break up, pretended to be your best friend for years, introduced you to your husband so that she could date your ex, and then ghosted you once she realized she was in the clear? At least she did you a solid, you know? She's just like, okay, this is just for my guilt, my own guilt. I'm gonna make sure that she's happy, and then I'm gonna go and do this really thing to her. It's so twisted and weird. At the end of the day, I'm grateful she introduced me to my husband because he's now my rock. Had she not introduced us, I probably would have never met him. Well, certainly an interesting story. Thank you for sharing. No etchy DNA 848. Okay, interesting. I wonder if this is the woman that OP was posting about. Wouldn't that be tea? I don't think it is, but imagine it was. Imagine that this was Lena. I chose my wedding over my best friend of 20 years. Ooh, okay. I feel like this is very relevant because now we get to hear like the opposite side of like why. I mean, it's not her, but imagine it was. Anyhow, there may be grammatical errors here and there as English is not my first language. And sorry in advance, this is kind of long. That's okay. I like them long. I like them chunky. I like them chunky. I, 31 female, and my best friend, let's call her me, 32 female, met in summer of 2005 when her family lived next door to us. I don't remember how we became close. I just remember we clicked almost instantly. I was 11 and she was 12. We became each other's partners in crime. I'm admittedly closer to her than I am with my sister. When I turned 18, I moved to a bigger city about 7 to 8 hours away from my hometown. This is where I found a job and slowly built my career and became independent. Around 2017, I decided to move to a different company, and that's when I met my husband-to-be. Let's call him Ralph, 32 male. About after a month of getting to know each other, we decided to start dating and have been together since. This is important context. Getting engaged is not a common practice in our country. It's usually only reserved for the rich. Common folks like us usually just go straight to the marriage talks. No proposals, no rings. With that said, me and Ralph started talking about getting married in 2020 and started saving for the wedding since. Same year, 2020, I was contacted by me asking if she could temporarily live with me while she's job hunting. And since I don't live with Ralph, I obviously agreed. At this time, I understood the indication that she wouldn't be able to help with rent, bills, and groceries, but I'm fine with that. And I was earning enough for the both of us. I mean, listen, I'm all about helping a friend when they're in need, but I can see this going south very quickly. A month after she moved in with me met her boyfriend, Jay. At this point, she still has not found a job. Let me guess, Jay also moved in. Her reasoning was that she hadn't found the right job yet, which at the time I supported until 2 weeks after she met Jay, she told him to move in with her at my house. God, I'm traumatized. Without my knowledge. Sounds about right. Imagine my surprise when one day I got home from work, only to see some random guy in my living room, in his boxers, sitting on my couch and eating my favorite snacks while watching TV. Oh girl, not the snacks. It better not have been your peanut butter. I swear. Out of panic, I threw my bag and my shoes at him. Oh, I mean, fair enough. There's some random dude, like naked ass dude sitting in your living room, shouting, telling him to get out of my house. Startled, me emerged from the kitchen, looking at me and laughing while introducing Jay to me as if nothing strange is happening. She took an inch and she walked a whole mile, bestie, all over you. Because seriously, she's not paying to live there and she didn't even let you know that she had a boyfriend and he was coming over. Like a strange man. Like, I understand she trusts him. Imagine just like coming home to your place and seeing some random dude there that you've never met before. Yeah, it's an absolutely not from me. I pulled her into my room and asked, what the hell is happening here? She just said that his boutique business went down due to the pandemic and he has nowhere to go. So she invited him to live with her. Oh, how nice. Mind you, they've known each other for 2 weeks at this point. She brought a homeless man into your house. Bestie, you have 2 homeless people living with you for free. You can't make this shit. Like, it's too specific. I can't wrap my head around this and tried to reason with her. But since I admittedly was a people pleaser and can't say no, she was able to convince me to let them stay in my basement. The same basement I renovated as my library and movie room, my most favorite part of the house. They're gonna park down there and never leave, bestie. And guess what? Squatters have a lot of rights. I mean, it depends on where you are, but like, once someone moves in with you, you're at their mercy. And yes, you guessed it right. They lived with me rent-free, and since both of them are unemployed, they can't even contribute for bills and groceries. At the time, I just thought that I was helping her, that since I'm earning more, it's not a big deal. I mean, yes, you were helping her, but that did not extend to some random dude. Sadly, this caused arguments between me and Ralph, to the point I had to sit me down and talk to her about the situation. She started taking gigs, Jay remained unemployed, and she was able to contribute at least 1/4 of the bills and groceries. Still rent-free, but at least she was starting to contribute. I don't understand how you're not embarrassed asking this of someone. It's one thing to like live with someone and help you like kind of get on your feet for like a week or 2, maybe a month if things are really bad, but to stay rent-free in someone's house and not feel obligated to contribute in some way. Like, you don't just have to contribute, like, let's say monetarily, but at least keep the place clean. Maybe there's a way that you can contribute, you know, making sure that everything is taken care of, making sure you're cleaning everything. There are other ways to contribute if you can't monetarily contribute, but it doesn't really sound like she's doing anything and didn't feel like doing anything until you told her, hey, this isn't appropriate. That's what I thought. As me was too picky, she doesn't last in whatever job she got. Beggars can't be choosers. So it came to a point where she only gives me 1/4 of a contribution once every 3 to 4 months. I even tried offering them a job at the company I work at. Cleaning crew and pay is good, but they declined. Why would they work when they can literally live for free with you, bestie? They declined, giving excuses that the job is not for them or whatever. This lasted for 4 years. Girl! Until November of 2024, me and Jay decided to go back to me's hometown, stating there's no work for them there. There's a lot, they're just too picky. They're not too picky, they're just entitled. They're deadbeats, babe. Come on now. They figured out that they can get by finding a sucker. This is the thing.
Do you have a history with having maybe an addictive personality?
No, I don't. So
it seems like your body.
This is really new for me.
Smoking. How did you start?
About entitlement is the thing about handouts, okay? Once you kind of get used to somebody always coming in and saving the day, you never have a reason to go out there and save yourself. You're not doing them any favors by helping them. It's one thing to help for a short amount of time. It's another thing to end up with them for 4 years. I understand you're a people pleaser, as am I. But holy girl. After they left, Ralph and I started to talk about our wedding plans again. At this time, he and I still don't live together. I mean, honestly, I would have literally like moved out of that place and left her to pay the rent. And lived with Ralph. As I mentioned, we started saving since 2020 and had our plans to get married postponed twice, 2023 and 2024. After almost 8 years and multiple family dramas, we decided to finally tie the knot this year. As we saved a significant amount of money this past 4 years, for reference, Ralph and I both work in marketing and earned 6 digits. Yes, bestie. We decided to make our wedding grand. Ooh, yes, babe. By December of 2024, we've selected a wedding planner, coordinator, found a beautiful church and venue for the ceremony and reception, and is currently currently in talks with suppliers and vendors. By January of this year, we started asking people to be part of our entourage. No one else knows about our wedding outside the entourage as we haven't announced it yet. I called me personally and asked her to be my bridesmaid. My sister is my maid of honor, and she agreed. She sounded genuinely happy over the phone. However, love a cheeky little however. A week after my call with her, she posted on her Facebook account that she and Jay are getting married in April of 2025. Remember when I mentioned that engagements and proposals are not common? Our common friends congratulated her without asking when and how they got engaged. The thing is, I didn't know about it either. If not for the post, I wouldn't have even been aware that they're also planning to get married. I called to congratulate her, asking about it, and she said that it just happened. That's weird that she didn't call you. I'm sorry. If I feel like I'm really good friends with someone and I don't get like a phone call from them when something like really big happens in their life, I don't feel very important. I'm just saying. It kind of like honestly like demotes me a little bit. Either way, I don't mind getting married in the same year as her since the month and date are different anyways. Okay, good. At least that. I even asked her if she wants to stay in my bridal party or if she wants to be a guest instead, in which she assured me she wants to be my bridesmaid. But it's worth mentioning that our entourage won't be spending a penny for our wedding, as we decided to cover everything from dresses to hair and makeup. Around the 4th week of January, me and Ralph shared our plans, including the budget, to our entourage, which surprised them. Us and our group of friends are from middle-class families, so their surprise is understandable. I made sure to let them know that we saved for 4 years for this wedding and we wanted to make it as grand as we can. Unfortunately, this did not sit well with me. She called me one day. This is my next point. That's interesting that she chose to announce her engagement before you had a chance to. And now she called asking why I'm trying to upstage her and why I'm ruining her wedding. Bestie, she tried to upstage you by announcing her engagement before you. Like, the fact that that even crossed your mind is so weird. Like, the fact that even crossed her mind that she could possibly be trying to upstage her means that she's projecting. I reminded her that she didn't mention anything about her getting married, and I just learned it from her Facebook post. She then started to say comments about us spending too much on our wedding when it would only be for a day. Saying how it'll be better if I spend some of our budget for her wedding instead. That's a funny joke. I was flabbergasted. The way she said things made me think that she just saw me as a piggy bank, that she's entitled to my money. What's worse, she demanded I postpone my wedding, saying that another postponement on our wedding won't make any difference since our wedding was already postponed twice anyways. She gotta go, bestie. I started seeing red. She knows the reasons why we postponed. She knows how miserable me and Ralph were when our initial wedding plans got postponed, and she had the audacity to demand that. She didn't even ask, she demanded it. To top it all off, she said that she would make use of the venue, flowers, catering, and other wedding stuff we already paid for. The audacity. It's comical at this point, babe. Like, come on. To think we are getting married in the city we currently live at while they're getting married in our hometown. I lost it. I don't like confrontation, but the devil inside me woke up at that time. I told her everything about how I felt ever since she let Jay stay at my place without consulting me, to how much I covered for their rent, bills, and groceries, to how much she changed after meeting Jay. I let it all out to the point that I was sobbing. I realized how hurt I was and how I've been holding it in for 4 years as they stayed at my place. She stayed silent, then hung up on me. I haven't heard back from her since. So yeah, I chose to proceed with my wedding over my best friend of 20 years. I guess I don't have a best friend anymore. Girl, she wasn't much of a friend to begin with, let's be honest. Come on now. P.S. I forgot to mention me talked to our common friends about me trying to upstage and ruin her wedding. And since me posted about her wedding first, they believed her and have lost more friends. P.S.S. I also forgot to mention that me was from a religious family and the wedding was forced by her dad as he caught them together. I was also told by a common friend that I'm still friends with that the possible reason for me's outburst was because she compared my wedding to hers. I was told she would be having a civil wedding. Breaking news, both of them are still unemployed and me's dad is paying for the wedding. This is the thing about being a people pleaser, babe. I'm starting to realize this as time goes on. The more you people please and put your own well-being aside for other people's feelings and to help other people, the more your resentment will build up and the more people will use you and the more you're gonna freak out like this when you're driven to a point that you can't take it anymore. We do have an update, which I'm very excited to share. So here's the update. I talked to Ralph about this. I showed him your comments and he agreed with you. We've set up passwords with our vendors and suppliers to avoid any possible issues. We're also in talks with our wedding planner and the venue owner for a possible change in venue. Going back to me, even before, Ralph kept telling me that her and Jay were staying at my place freeloading was not right. It wasn't. For 4 years, girl, Sadly, I had too much faith in our
Listen, if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead. That's what I did, and that's how I got this $140,000 check in less than 30 seconds. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, if you've been in a car accident,
friendship that it made me ignore all the red flags. But trust me, looking back, I can say me was not like this. She was there whenever I needed her most. I never felt she used me or took advantage of me when we were younger. But I noticed that changed when I moved away and started working. I got into university at 15 and graduated early at 18, which is why I was able to move away from our hometown for work early. While I started working, she remained at school. Unfortunately, she didn't finish college and met the wrong crowd. This will be relevant later on. Ever since I was a kid, I've been told I liked giving gifts, and this continued into adulthood. I can say this is my love language. This is why whenever I was on vacation to our hometown, I always brought my friends gifts. I also like to take them out to dinner from time to time. I think this is when me started taking me for granted and started taking advantage of me. Looking back, I realized that whenever we were out, I either asked her to go out or she asked me. It was always me who paid the bill. I also remembered I always gave her gifts on her birthdays. I even paid for our vacation on her 25th birthday, but never even once received a gift from her. Not even a card. She simply sent me a text message wishing me a happy birthday. Back then, I just thought that she was still a student. It's fine. It's the thought that counts. There was also a time where she introduced me to her group of friends. Same friends that cussed me out for stealing her thunder and ruining her wedding. And yes, the same wrong crowd. Doesn't really sound like you missed out on much of a friendship, I'm just saying. It was supposed to be an eat out with just the two of us, but I ended up paying for 6 more people. These random meetups with her random friends happened multiple times, and I remembered I was always the one paying for it. Oh, girl, what? One of her friends even borrowed money from me, $500 with me's guarantee. Honestly, I think this must be cultural. Thinking about like my aunts, specifically my like Romanian aunts, they are such good people and they do so much for other people to the point that it literally kills them. Like it gets to a point where they are always constantly taking care of people at their own health expense. And I think that this must be cultural. Obviously, we would all like to think we got to give without expecting anything in return. But unfortunately, there are people who take advantage of that. I feel like we kind of let people take advantage of it. I should have known then, but as I said, I was blind. And yes, I never got that money back. After thinking hard about it, I realized she really did take advantage of me. She used and financially abused me for years. With that said, I called my mom earlier today and asked her to pass the phone to me's dad. My mom and her dad are still neighbors. I told her dad everything. I also sent him the copy of the ledger I kept. All unpaid rent, bills, and groceries. Ooh, good for you. You kept receipts, babe. So wait, here's a question. Her dad is paying for her whole wedding, and she also wants you to give her money for her wedding? Is that what I'm understanding? Something I learned from my job. Surprisingly, her dad told me that he was sending money to me those 4 years that she lived with me. Yes, she was receiving money from her dad. Dude, she was rinsing you both. I was told that the said money was her part for the rent and for her to buy her own groceries. I was surprised. I told her dad I have not received anything from me other than the amount indicated in my ledger. He was livid, especially because she was living with Jay all those years she was here. I'm not sure where the money went. Maybe that's how she was able to buy things while unemployed. Anyhow, her dad told me he'll be paying it back. He also told me he won't be paying for their wedding anymore and will be giving them an ultimatum to either find a job and get married or he will kick them both out of his house. Now I will be getting my money back soon. Wow, you really handled this situation very, very well. We'll be using the money for our honeymoon. There's a possibility that me and Jay won't get married. I also blocked her and her friends' numbers as well as on Facebook because I'm sure she'll be calling me nonstop once she hears from her dad. So yeah, for now, I guess all is well and unpaid debts have been settled. I am a little guilty about the possibility of ruining me's wedding, but Ralph assured me that since me and her friends are already accusing me of doing so, I'm just owning up to it. Like literally, everybody already knows or thinks that you ruined her wedding, so whatever. Thanks everyone. I realized I didn't mention this in my original post. I love you, Charlotte. I love you too. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you stuck up for yourself. You went to the right person to tell. Like I was like, ooh, should we publicly talk about it? Like, should we make a Facebook post exposing her? But no, you went and told the person this information that would hurt her the most. Her piggy bank. Well, her other piggy bank. I'm proud of you, bestie. Subscribe!